How many people are working with SharePoint 2013? How many can't wait to work with SharePoint 2013? How many people are terrified to go to SharePoint 2013? Okay. Come on, connect. Connect, connect, connect. What's up? Hello, come on. There we go. Slideshow from the beginning. All right. For those of you that were in my first session, thank you for coming back for the second session. I'm going to focus on SharePoint 2013. I'm going to be honest with you. Anytime a new version comes out, oh yeah, by the way, for those of you that may have been expecting a different session right now, I just saw two people walk out, so I think they just realized. For those of, anybody was not in my first session? Okay. My name's Christina. I was sick as a dog. I swapped sessions, so if you're here for, no, you're good. I understand, trust me. I don't know what session was supposed to be now, before. There, managed metadata, if you look at, what time did they present at? My apologies, there was a memo that went out today. I was very sick. For those that just showed up?
It was good, so it was worth watching.
Which one?
The one that was supposed to be on there.
Oh, okay. The managed metadata was earlier. I couldn't get out of bed this morning at all. I had to take lots of meds so I can actually get out and be up here now. So if you were expecting the managed metadata session, my apologies. That one's already been presented. So if you need to walk out, I totally understand. And, excuse me, sir, did you lose this?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go get that to him. Thank you. So this is content aggregation part 2. Once again, I won't get offended if you want to leave. Okay. Let's go ahead and weed out a few. I just feel like I swallowed glass. Yeah. All right. So part 2. Now we're going to talk about 2013. Once again, those of you that are just new in here, hello. Are you looking for managed metadata or content aggregation? Awesome. Come on in. So content aggregation part 2. My name's Christina Wheeler. I sound a lot better than I did this morning, thanks to all the drugs I'm taking. Legal drugs. I did a conference in Anaheim at Microsoft one year, and I had bronchitis. I was very delirious at that session. That went really well, though, and I got really good reviews, such as most entertaining session of the conference. So I realized the more drugs I was on, the funnier I got, and those were all legal, too. But, yeah. So that's apparently so. I've been working on a book for 3 months, living on lack of sleep for 3 months. I think my immune system just kind of beat me up. But I didn't get sick last year. I think I just had hangovers last year. So this is the first one I've been sick, literally sick at this one. But yeah, it's now what sickness is Christina going to get at the conference? Yeah, so we're all good. I work myself too hard. I don't allow myself to get enough rest. But I do have a blog site, www.thesharepoint411.com. Coming up with names is the hardest thing ever.
So it's 411. Is that been forwarded?
For information. What?
410.
Oh, wait a minute. Do you guys not have 411 in the UK? Oh, this is a US thing. Okay, I need something universal. You guys I got to do a contest.
Is your name taken? Christina.blog.com. SharePoint 911.
Actually,
I was going to say SharePoint 911.
So what is 411?
You could have.
That's a good question.
You could have 08454647, because that's the number you ring when you're ill in the UK.
well, you know what? I got one. Wait, who was the 8675309?
NHS hotline.
What's that song? 8675309. Right? Is that the Wham? No. Must be another US band. All right, I'll get to it. You know what? That's a good question. I think I just always just felt lame if I did my name, but I think I might just go ahead and do my name. I'll change it. Yeah, be easier. All right. Well, axe that. I'll end up getting a new name. Yeah, right? How about the sickpresenter.com?
Put yourself
SharePoint
to
second.
SharePoint, all on one, it's your surnames, and then it'll match. You'll be right. Just change your name by default.
There we go. All right, my email is cwheeler76@live.com. I do help when I can. I have a lot going on, though, so if you get a slow response from me, a lot of times if you get a quick response, I just happen to catch it at the right time. But I travel a lot, or I get sick. I'm just kidding.
Change your name to only just, and that look like only just a live book on.
I like that one. That's good. That's good. That's good. I have 2 published books out, the SharePoint 2010 Field Guide. I have the SharePoint 2030 Inside Out book. I'm very proud of that book. I put blood, sweat, and tears into that book. There's 4 publishers, including myself. Darvish, Penny Coventry, Tom Reesing, and myself worked on this book. I think it's about a 1,000-page book.
Do you have any with you?
They're currently being in production. They're currently being printed. So,
Sign one.
I gotta think of a contest. I can see what I can manage. Yeah, I wanted books to give out, but we don't have them. They're currently in production right now. They look pretty stinking good, I gotta say. First time that I'm actually very, very proud of. The first book I did, I replaced another author. The second book, I actually was asked to do this book, so we all split up the chapters evenly. But very, very, it forced me to learn SharePoint 2013. Now, the reason why I asked how many people are in SharePoint 2013, because I wanted to see who's working with it now. Now, anytime a new release comes out, I got to be honest, I'm like the type of person that I don't want to jump on that quick yet, because my clients don't want to jump on it quick. Or you start writing a book in beta, and then you really want to pull your hair out, because you have all these bugs. I have a client now that has a beta bug that they're in RTM, so. But anyways, what I'm going to talk about right now, I'm going to talk about, well, first off, just real quick, I'm a trainer. I forgot, I got new people in here. I'm from the US, I live in Georgia, lived all over. I like the UK. I would live here if I could, but my daughter would kill me. I am enable something logging, right, redial here, all right. I teach SharePoint development, web content management, and end-user training, and I'm also an independent consultant. I've been working with SharePoint from the very beginning, and honestly, I hated the product when I first started using it. Somehow, I ended up sticking with it, and it's been great, and I love the product, what it is today. Hello, are you here for content aggregation or manage metadata?
That's right.
Excellent. All right, good. All right, so what I'm going to talk about are some of the changes in 2013. Anybody worked with the content by search web part? Okay, so fairly new. All right, so there's going to be some new changes, minor changes to the content query web part that I'm going to talk about, and then I'm going to talk about the content by search web part, and give some demos, and also go further with the demos with the content by query web part. So there are some minor changes with the content query web part. You have the ability now to filter by page navigation term. Have you used that yet? Okay. So there hasn't been any other major drastic changes because a lot of the changes they made were in 2010. I'll show that in a minute. How many people, once again, use the data view web part? Here's where I'm going to give you some bad news, if you had not heard this yet. Anybody not know who has not touched SharePoint 2013 yet that uses data view web part? You no longer have the design view. So if you want to support, you can migrate your data view web parts, no problem. You can still do the data view web parts, but you don't get your WYSIWYG anymore. I'm pissed about that. The purpose that Microsoft pulled out the design view tab was because more for branding perspective, because they changed the branding approach. The issue is I don't think they realized that it really affected the data view web part, because this is an end user, business user web part. It's going to be a lot harder for you to support. So if you have, now there's a little hack workaround. You can create your, Laura Rogers did this, totally not supported by Microsoft, but supported by the community, right? You can open up your site in SharePoint 2010. You won't have all the options, but you can create your data view web part in SharePoint 2010, and then there was something else you couldn't do, I can't remember. But there you have the workaround. You could not do this in SharePoint 2007 because you could not take SharePoint 2010, Designer 2010 and open up SharePoint 2010 or 2007, but you can open it up in SharePoint Designer 2010. So there are some workarounds. But if you don't do that, and you try to create your data view web part in SharePoint Designer 2013, chances are what would have taken you a day is going to take you 2 weeks. At least some people told me that. I don't want to do everything in code view. So there's no design view, so it's harder to support. This is where I'm going to make another recommendation. And I'm not trying to be a product pusher here, I'm just trying to save you headaches. I told you about Lightning Tools, Lightning Conductor web part.
I'm not paying her.
No, he's not paying me, I swear. Okay. He came to back me up, though. Where's the data view? The data viewer web part, which I have yet, you guys are getting me a license for this, right? So I can demo it. But Lightning Tools has the data viewer web part, which this is good for you guys because, anytime Microsoft makes a big change, the vendors can actually capitalize on it. And I was looking into creating something until I realized you guys created something. So I figured you were one step ahead of me. All right, so I'm going to disconnect. Yeah, let me disconnect from this. There we go. Hold on. Refresh. So the Lightning Viewer web part will probably be a very good option for you. Like I said, unless you don't mind doing the hack workaround that I haven't tested it yet, so I don't know what you might run into, or if you don't mind taking forever to actually work with your data view web part. So this option is available here. Same thing, you can go to the booth. They'll have the demos there for you. You can actually download a demo too and install it. Download the trial version of the product and test it out and see if it works for you. I was never using data view web parts until a couple years ago when I was always content by query and custom code, till I had certain clients that had some specific needs, especially Department of Defense, and then I had like Mark Anderson and others and Christoph Humbert, who I love to death, who said, Christina, you can do this in a data view web part. And I'm like, no, I can't roll up content. They said, yeah, you can. So they taught me different things that you can do, and I really fell in love with the data view web part. So you can do certain things. There's some things that are better to do in the content query web part. There's some things that are better to do in the data view web part, right? So if you want to have the collapsing features, filtering, different, more like, what would you say, user interaction, the data view web part might be a better option. But then you have problems when you go from 2007 to 2010 is rolling up content is not as easy because they removed a linked data sources option.
You could also call the web services as well through the data view web part. So if you want to
You got the mic on.
You're restricted to just the SSL template.
Or you can stick through
so
here? Yeah.
Yeah, so if you wanted to connect to a list or something that's in a different site collection or a different web application, we don't always want to roll up content, but you might want to just take a list from another site and display it. So if you've got like a contacts list or something like that that would be useful in other areas of the site, you don't want to duplicate that list. You could
Right. Go ahead.
you could connect to the lists.asmx.
So you're
Web
on
service
video.
or-
that's why I need to have that
Okay.
on. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, you could connect to the list.asmx, and there's also the
You do know this is the
Web.asmx
information
site.
worker session, right? Is that part of information worker?
Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, it is, yeah. So
So-
yeah, you could easily port across a list from another site collection or web application as well, as long as you've got the web service.
Cool. Thank you. Will that work? Maybe. Okay. All right. So that's one of the things I want you to be aware of. Now, I do think. Well, let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and open up. Oh, let me close this. Get out. I don't need this environment anymore. Now we're going to go into my non-cloud share environment, where I actually have sites up. Whew, it's hot. By the way, branding. Branding to me. How many people do branding in SharePoint? Okay. There's a lot of changes. If you get my book, or if I give you a book, there's the web content management chapter I did that talks about all the changes in it. It's good and bad. Meaning it's good for those that are, what? Yeah, those, I mean, a web developer can actually, a web designer can actually be a web designer. You're not having to have like specific knowledge that you needed before. But those of you like me that's used to doing things the old way in SharePoint Designer with branding, you're gonna have, it's gonna maybe frustrate you a little bit because things that you could do easily is a little bit more complicated. But I understand the approach and why they took, and I know it's not a web content management session, but I wanted to say that because Content Query Web Part Data View is still all about display, right? But I just wanted to make note of that. And I pulled this up because I just thought some of the stuff they changed I do like on being able to do the branding. I'm able to throw up, this is an out-of-the-box thing that I was about to roll up content for a client, stuff like that. It's just a proof of concept. Just showing them, I was showing them the features and showing them how easily they could do stuff and how easily you can brand. I did not create a custom master page at all. All I did was the design, the change the look option and made some changes, added a background, changed the theme, stuff like that. So it's a lot different and a lot better. Okay, so let me open up. Whew, it's hot. Sorry, this resolution's throwing me off really bad. I never used search before on Windows. I'd always disable it on XP and everything, and now that this ain't my Windows 8 machine, but on Windows 8 I search for everything. I want my start bar back. Oh, yeah. I know there's apps you can do and install. So I'm going to go ahead and open my site. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up both 2013 and 2010 SharePoint Designer, and we're going to just go ahead and do a test now. Look at that, right? You didn't get prompt before, right? It just would try to connect, and it would tell you you couldn't open the site. Oh. Okay, yeah, now I know why. Now I remember. You can create your data view web part in SharePoint Designer 2010 to a SharePoint Designer 2010 site, but export it and then bring it into 2013. That sucks. Lightning tools. Okay, so now I'm opened up SharePoint Designer 2010, and in my previous session, right, I'm sorry I'm jumping a little over the place, but my apologies. Like I said, my brain's not quite there yet right now. But I wanted to open up the site in 2013. I'm glad I went and opened it and tried to open it in 2010 because it made me remember now what the actual workaround was and what was done. So here I've got my site open. I've got my all files. I'm just going to go into my style library here to show you. You still have the style sheets that are in the same place for the Content Query web part. If I go in here, you'll see. Now I do have publishing enabled, and we know it's enabled. Why? Because I got my files. Yep, and we see page layouts, right? So you've got the same. Nothing has changed when it comes to the files and how the Content Query web part works. The Content Query web part, like I said, there's one new option available. Page cannot be displayed. All right, so. Oh no, I want to be on the server. Here we go. All right, perfect. Okay, so now I'm on my site. Go to one. Here's the change of look. All right, devsolutions.com. I have a bunch of domains. Oh, I know why I didn't want to get on here. You're not seeing something here right now because this is an app. For some reason, my app won't load on the server, but I'm going to go ahead and open up here instead. DuckDuckGo. Okay, so this connection works, but at the hotel, I couldn't connect to my sites. That was weird. I think it was user error. It would just give me a 401. It wouldn't let me. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's prompted me again because I have an app that's been added. I did make some configuration changes, which I need to fix. So here I go on my site. Now you see there's the app that loads. This is why I like SharePoint 2013. Now, because yes, I am an on-premise developer. I like to create farm solutions, things like that. But the new app model, which I haven't created any custom apps yet, but I've been working with the custom apps. I think it's pretty cool. Now I'm going to bring something up real quick, even though it's not related to content aggregation, because to me, content aggregation still has to do with displaying results, right? I've recently encountered a bug, and I want to say this to you guys because you may encounter it. Beta had a bug that if you added apps to your site, then you changed your master page, being able to modify your apps would break. So you go and try to click on the page, and you get an error. The way to fix that was you had to delete the app and recreate the app. When you did that, it worked again. Then if you change the master page again, it breaks again. I'm currently working on a ticket with Microsoft on this because I spoke with Neil. How do you pronounce Neil's last name? Hodgkinson. I'm terrible with names. I call him Neil H. So if you had installed beta, which I don't, just in case, I wasn't involved with this client until after the fact, so it was a little too late in the game. Found out the person that did their install installed beta. Then what they did is they upgraded them to RTM instead of doing a fresh install. Well, RTM is supposed to fix all those bugs that you had, but for some reason this bug stayed. So they have this beta bug that I cannot fix. That I'm trying to, without, worst case, I'm probably going to have to back up their database, rebuild their environment, restore it, and stuff like that. I think that's going to be my last resort. But I still want Microsoft to fix this, right? So if you encounter that, because I beated my head against the wall really bad, trying to figure out what was wrong. I thought I had the App Store configured incorrectly. I thought I had something wrong and found out it was an actual bug. So if you see that happening, don't panic. Send me an email. I'll give it to you again, and I'll send you all the info you need. Okay? Just wanted to throw that one out there. But, so, SharePoint 2013 looks a lot different. Now, this is very out of the box as well. I was trying to connect to my actual demo for the VPN thing, but was having issues with the connection. But the content query, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, go back to doing what I was doing earlier. I'm going to add a content query web part to the page. And I'm not using web part zones, so that's a little... If you're not, this is the other reason why I like to use page layouts and content pages. When you have the web part zones, it's a lot easier to add your web parts, drag them, move them around. What happens is when you're using the wiki pages with the rich content fields, it's very easy to delete, override, or mess up the web parts on the page. When you're trying to insert them between, sometimes you may put it in the right spot, but what happens is I might try to insert here and it might override my announcements. So it's just a little bit more of a pain. But I'm going to go ahead and insert. Now, the differences you're going to see here now is before in 2010, you just had web parts to add. In 2013, you have app part and web part. They're always wanting to add new names, right? Well, so, Brett, I don't know if you know how to explain this one. The app parts, you have some of the built-in app parts for like the lists and libraries. Is that correct?
Everything's an app now.
Everything's an app now, but you still add web parts.
That's your lists and libraries.
Say that again?
That's your lists and libraries option.
The web part or the app part?
Oh, it's custom.
Yeah.
Anybody developers in here? Okay, then I won't say. No, it's good. So if I click, I'm going to click app part just so you see what you have. So I clicked app part. You're going to see some of the out-of-the-box stuff, announcements, calendars, right? Then you see calendar news app because this is one of the apps that I added from the Microsoft store or from the store, SharePoint store, right? But then you see some of the out-of-the-box ones. But what you don't see here is you don't see content query. You don't see all the other web parts you want to add. So what I'll do now is I'll click on web part. Click on web part here. Now, you still have apps, right? Got to have multiple options. Come on.
So in essence, it's the same thing, but just has a slightly different name.
We're going to open up a can of worms with that one. I'll get back to that one after this session. Were there any sessions on app parts or the app model? Chris O'Brien? Did he already present it? Okay. It'll be on the video. Okay. It's in my book. I'm not trying to push my book, but yes, I am. All right. It is in my book. Real quick, I was holding off on blog posts because I had to wait till the book was done. So now I can actually start posting things. So I'm actually stuff that I can post I'm going to put up, explaining app parts and things like that. But I have more details in my book. All right. Enough, sorry. All right, so now you're going to see different options here now. In 2013, you have more web parts available for the publishing feature. What Microsoft did was, instead of just having the content query, yes, you have the content query. They made a minor change to the content query, but you also have what's called the content search. Now, I'm not going to demonstrate the content search yet. I just want to bring that up. So you see we have content search, content query. So I'll go ahead and add the content query real quick. Loading. It did take me a while to get used to the flat structure, but now I'm on Office 2013. I actually like the flat structure. Anybody not like the new UI? Okay. I don't think there should be tiles on servers. All right. So here I added my content query. I'll go ahead and open the tool pane. Oops. Nope. Nope. Stay on page. Okay. So here's, you're going to have the same options that you had before. Like I said, there's only minor changes that have been made. If I were to, so I can roll up, you still roll up, you have your three options like you had before, site collection, subsite, right? And from the following list, you have audience targeting, like I explained before. Audience targeting is not security trimming, but if you wanted to target audience, your results, you can. Now here's the new option you have available. This is the navigation content. So now you can filter by a page navigation term. Now I'm going to be honest with you. I'm still new to all this stuff as well, because it's 2013. You've got the whole, one of the things, so you can use managed metadata now for navigation. Well, in essence, your content query is, it's really navigation as well, right? You're getting results back, but the other thing that I'll show is not having the navigation item on there. But you can, so you can filter these items by the navigation. That's the term store. The term store is, and the good thing is, well, the term store is part of Server, but it's also part of SharePoint Online. Content query is still a part of SharePoint Online and Office 365. But when I show you the content search, it's not something that's available at the moment for SharePoint Online, but it's supposed to become available, as I understand.
Apparently no plan at the moment.
No plan at the moment.
I want to, but it's going to start on.
So if you're on SharePoint Online, when I show you, you're going to be stuck with the content query for a while. Okay? But, so you can filter by the navigation item. If I go, let me open up another. I like to do multiple tabs just so I'm not clicking around. That way I can actually be in one part of the system and another part on the screen. So I'm going to go to my site settings here. If I go to my site settings, I'm going to look for, and the items have moved. Where's the term store? Where's my term store link? You'd think they'd be in alphabetical order so you can actually find things better.
You do a control.
Yeah, thanks. And I just said like I was searching. I need more sleep. Okay, so here I have managed metadata. Now, I've got my service enabled. I'll see, let's see, I have here one for AI. Let me go ahead and create a new one. I'm going to create a new group. I'm going to call it SP Evo. Dang it. Create a new term set. I'll call it site navigation. The one thing I love about the term store is you don't have to worry about internal field names. I don't have to worry about having, I could put spaces and stuff like that. So here I have my site navigation, then I can go in and build my terms, right? I might do home, news, I don't know, let's just do that for now. So if I click on site navigation, you're going to see some options. And here we have in general, intended use. If I click on that, you'll see here, now we can change the options. Do I want to allow this term set to be used for the site navigation? If so, I clicked it. Then I could also use the term set for faceted navigation. That is so you have contextual refiners that will be used together with the managed metadata. Of course, this is kind of a more complex. Do you use faceted? Have you used how do you say it? Faceted navigation. Thank you. But right now I'm just enabling it for site navigation. And when I gotta save. Forgot to save. Well, I can actually enable all three. So I save that. When I do that, then I can go to the custom sort. So you can actually use custom sort order, or you can actually have it default to whatever, you know, for the current language. Chances are you might end up customizing the sort order. Gosh darn it. Cancel. All right, let's go back. Yes, I'm not saving changes. Then you have target page settings, catalog item page settings. The catalog, too, is a whole nother new feature that's within SharePoint. That's a whole nother session. But what it does is, too, you can do a lot of your, you know, roll-ups and navigation items and things like that with the catalog. So it's, to me, it's a lot better on some stuff that you can do. So I go ahead and I selected this, and I've made this available. Now, I'm not going to change the setting right now, but I just wanted to show you the manage metadata for that. But if I wanted to filter, I can't do it. I have to change something. So you have to make some different settings to be able to use that, but that's just a new option that's available. But what I want to go back to is what I didn't get to complete in the other session was, let's go ahead and do what I did before, but I'll try to do this really quick. Let me just save real quick. This resolution's throwing me off. Come on, okay, click okay, okay, go, go, go. All right, so it's taking a second. I'll go to my other screen here. So I'm gonna go to my site settings real quick. Now remember, I was in 2010 in the previous session, so I don't have my content. So I'm gonna go in here real quick and create my 2 fields. I'm gonna create my speaker bio, multiple lines of text. Okay. SP Evo custom columns. Just have that be, well, it could be, I'll make it enhanced rich text. I'll click OK. I'm going to create another column, which is going to be speaker photo. I'll just make this a picture instead. All right. So I'll make it a picture. Now I'll do publishing. So do publishing. I think I need more meds. Starting to wear off. Day nurse, every 4 hours. Is that how often I'm supposed to take it? Okay. The other reason why I was sick this morning because I forgot to take the night nurse. All right, custom columns. I'm doing that again. All right, click OK. So now I got my 2 columns. I'm going to go back and just change the display name. Remember, for those that weren't in here, I was talking previously in the previous session how you do not want to put spaces or special characters when you first create the name because you want the internal field name to be clean. So if you look up, and I'm just repeating this for those that weren't in my session earlier. So since I created the field name with no spaces, the internal field name has no space, so it's nice and clean. So now I'm going to go back in here and re-add the space, so now the display name is speaker bio. And then I'll go ahead and add the space for speaker photo. Okay. Then I'm going to go back to my settings page. Breadcrumb. Yeah.
Because it's not big enough.
Yeah. I think I've bumped up. Yeah, oh, I am 100. You're right. Okay. Now I'm going to go and add my site content type, which, like I did before, I'm going to add my speakers content type. Come on. Ooh, did you hear that? That was my neck. I'm a self-chiropractor to myself. Come on, what's going on here? Open up. There we go. So now I'm going to create my speaker content type. I'm going to make it a list content type, base it off item. Click OK. I'm going to add my existing site columns that I had just added, like I did before. Speaker bio and speaker photo. I like that you can multi-select and just click add. Click OK. Now I'm going to go and create my list. No, but what's it going to be called? I'm going to go add an app because it's an app.
Why is it app?
Because it is.
As Microsoft. So I'm going to go create my custom list. Call it speakers. Click create. This is the same thing with the speakers. Is that for the list settings? Things are a little bit different here. Nope, go back.
You have to go into
Oh, yeah, go into the actual app. I'm clicking on my speakers app tile.
And then you click list.
Then I'm clicking lists in my tab.
List
List settings, thank you.
Not app setting.
Yeah, no app setting, list settings. Don't you just love that? All right, so what's the problem here? We have our content types, or I want to change my content type, right? But I don't have that option available. I'm testing you guys to see how well you listened. Thank you. You answer it, I'll give you a book once it's published. All right. All right, event settings. I'm going to go and allow the management of the content types. Now we're going to go and add the custom speaker content type that I created.
Can we delete item this time?
Yeah, let's delete item this time. We'll go ahead and delete it. I'm going to give my little disclaimer again. So now you see I have two content types, speaker and item. Well, I want speaker to be the default, so I don't want item. So the first, what I can do is, I'll just show them how to change it first. So I can click on Change New Order button and default content type. I can uncheck item and make speaker the default, or make that the top, right?
When you uncheck it, automatically it's the first one.
Oh yeah, thank you. I didn't notice that. When you uncheck it, it automatically becomes the first one. Yeah, my head's cloudy. Chance of rain. All right, so what I can do here is actually remove this content type from this list. Now, if I click on item once, meaning I'm not going to go click on the parent item, if I click on item here, I have the ability to delete it. The reason why I'm careful with this, we're going to delete it in this one, even though we didn't delete it in the last one. Some people don't delete it because they're scared to delete it. What you don't want to do is click on item here and try to delete this content type. This is why it can be confusing, right? Or don't change the name. So let me go back. So you want to make sure I'm at my list content type information. If I click here, you're going to see it change site content type information. Pay attention to that because that's how you'll know if you're deleting the wrong one. Okay? So I go back. I want to make sure it's list content type. So it's just removing it from this list. So now delete the content type. Ready? Anybody scared? Dun, dun, dun.
Your hint is in the warning as well as list content type.
Yes. Yes. Booyah.
Nothing bad happened.
Didn't blow up. My site still works. And now speaker is the only content type that is available here.
It's clean, isn't it?
It's clean. So now I'm going to my speakers list. I'm going to go ahead and add a new item, or I can edit. Oh yeah, I'm going to change my view. What?
Is that your data sheet view?
Yeah, I won't do data sheet view, but I like data sheet view when it works. So I'm going into, and I want to display my speaker bio, speaker photo, and I also have title, which title is actually going to be the speaker title name. I could change that title if I want and just call it speaker title. Or speaker name, let's do that. Okay, now, what I'm doing now is just changing, if I click on title, it's only changing it at this list level. So I change speaker name, but so it's speaker name, this display name is now speaker name, but what is the actual internal field name?
Title.
Thank you. Okay, so now we got speakers. I'm going to go ahead and add new items. We're going to go back and add Brett. King of BCS. What is going on with my little... Nice. I'm not going to do a photo right now. Okay, let me add myself. All right, so now I have the two, and then what I was doing earlier was showing you the dynamic filtering. So what I'm going to do is continue and do the modification of the dynamic filtering. For those of you that weren't in here, you weren't in here earlier, correct? A couple weren't in here. Content Query Web Part, this is not a new feature of 2013, but it's a nice feature. You have the ability to do dynamic filtering. And I apologize for those that I'm repeating, but this will stick in your head then, right? You have options to filter on the page field value and page query string value. So what you can do is, instead of, what I was showing up before was, actually I can use the old best practices conference as an example, because that's what my demo was. I didn't do this branding, by the way. Want to give you that disclaimer. Okay. So speakers. This site is actually done in Foundation. So since it's Foundation, I couldn't do the features that I couldn't use the Content Query Web Part. But for example, my demo that I actually have on the webcast, which you guys will get, has a page that has the speakers listed. And it's a Content Query Web Part page that is actually pulling the speakers. Okay. Then when you click on the speaker, what happens is it'll take you to another page, which is an actual content page that I have the Content Query Web Part on that I'm filtering the value. So that way when I would click on, I would have set a speaker ID, it would actually be title equals. So that way if you click on the speaker, it'll take you to the page, it'll filter results, so you did not have to have individual pages for each of the speakers. Make sense? Okay. So that's what I'll finish, and then I'll go into the Content by Search Web Part is I'm going to go ahead and create a page. Let's go back. So if you see here, I want to do this on purpose. I'm going to add a page. When I clicked add a page, it's defaulting to what kind of page? How do you know?
You said so earlier.
I know. Also, if you see site pages in the list, if I was doing publishing, you would see publish or just pages, but you're seeing site pages. Now, if I wanted to go and create, I can go to site contents. If I want to create a publishing page, I have to go add an app now.
So page is not.
Page is an app. I think so. Hold up. Oh, you seriously? Come on. I have to scroll. Hey. Wait a minute. Oh, add an app. Sorry, I'm just not quite there. Hang on. Yeah, site contents. This is why it's throwing me off, because I just did the other one.
Contents, go to the bottom.
Yeah.
Scroll down the bottom of site contents.
Oh, I have to go click in Pages Library. I'm used to the old way. All right. So now I'm in my Pages Library. I can go here, create a new file, create a new welcome page. It's called a speaker bio, if I can spell it right. Notice I selected a content type in the ribbon, but it'll still take you to this page to select the content type, or the page layout. The page layouts are based on content types. I'm going to use blank web part page, like I selected earlier. Click create. Then I'll go click on speaker bio. So here I can edit the page. Now there's something, first I gotta click edit. So now I can edit the page. One thing I wanna show you real quick is, in case you didn't know, because this was a 2007, this was a pain in 2007. If you had content pages and you wanted to change the layout, the options you had in 2007 was only the list of pages you'd have available, or page layouts, was based upon the content type that was used to create the page. In 2010 and 2013, they changed it where you can select anything that's published. So you can actually change, and it'll change the content type that's being used. Now, if you were to change it, say you had used image on left, the image on left has content fields on it. If you use that, and then you change it to like web part page, you're not going to use the metadata, lose the metadata. The metadata will still be on there, so say you filled in body. The metadata will still be there, but if you flip it back to the other page layout, then you'd have your content fill up. So what happens is no matter what you change it to, it still keeps whatever metadata was actually inputted into the page. Just a little quick tip that I wanted you guys to know. So I'm going to go ahead and add my web part. I'm going to add my content rollup, content query, click add. Okay. Open the tool pane. Come on. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Appearance. There we go. See, they kind of changed it a little now. You got query. Oh, help was next to it. It's just some. Yeah. I need to get better. Okay. So I'm going to filter off my custom list. Come on. Filter off my custom content type. And I have speaker now. Remember before it was called the speakers. Now, I don't have I'm cleaving child content types included in there, but I don't have any child content types attached to it. We'll go ahead and leave that as is. Now on the filtering, for those of you that weren't in here, I was saying earlier is you have two options that you can do dynamic filtering for. The page field value or the page query string value. This is something that's great because you couldn't do it in earlier versions of the content query web part. So instead of having individual speaker pages, I want just the one page that I can filter, use the content query to display the results. So what I'm going to do is use the page query string value. So my filter, what I'm going to set is I want to basically check title. Title's equal to what? I'm going to check the page query string value, title. Okay. And this is the display name. You don't have, well actually no, this is the,
Display name.
I'm using the internal field name, but I bet I can put speaker. But just so I don't have any hiccups, I'm going to leave it as title. It does? It is, oh yeah, it is query string attribute. Oh yeah, it's title. So yeah, that's right, because it's the query string attribute, so it'll be title. So it's actually taken, it is taking the internal field name. So I'm filtering where it equals title. On presentation, I'm not going to make any modifications yet, but what I'll do is I'll go ahead and change, actually no, I am doing it. So image on left. So what I'm doing is just applying the out of the box one. We're going to get an error on the link because I know that for a fact because we did it earlier. I've got title. So what this is doing is if you see, if I change my drop down of what template I want to use, you're going to see the field to display values change. So this is the easy way to map. Well, if I wanted to use the out of the box ones, I can just say, okay, well, I want to use title, I want to map title, and I want to map a different field to description. So I want to map the speaker bio to description. So I would just change that there. And notice I'm putting in the display name. I don't have to put in the internal field name. But if I put in the internal field name, it would work as well. Okay. So I'll go ahead and change this to speaker bio, changing the title. Oh, come on. Title only. I can actually hide that or not have, if I didn't want a title. But I'll click apply. Make sure we don't get any errors. And you're not going to see any results because I do not have anything being passed into the query string. So let me save this. Now, if I were to, now what I would do instead is on this page here, what I would do is have the content query web part, have a custom item style template, and in that item style template, I would pass in the query string value, title. So that way, the link here, and when you click on the name, it would go to my page and pass in the query string value. Okay? But I'm skipping that step at the moment. I'm just hypothetically telling you, explaining you how it will work. So pretend like I clicked on that link, okay? Then it redirected to this page, but what it did was it passed in the query string value, title, and the speaker. Look at that nice div.
Nice than the last one.
It is nice on the last one.
You're a bigger div than last time.
Say that one?
It's a bigger div than last time.
Yes. So what I'm going to show you now, I'm going to go in and create my custom item style. Like I said in the previous session, the recommendation is not to modify the out-of-the-box styles, but to create your own and then map it to your content query web part. I don't have time to demonstrate that, so I'm going to just keep it simple. But normally what I'll do is I'll create a custom, or my content query web part. I'll do this for other web parts as well, if that I want to modify. Create my content query web part, modified it, the settings that I want by default the way I want it. I'd have to export it to link it to my style sheets that I want to use, and then re-import it. But what I'll do is, when I re-import it, I'll add it to my web part gallery. So that way, let me go back to here. Open up another one. So it upload it to the web part gallery. So it'd be web parts, web designer galleries. I know it keeps changing names, right, in each version. Web part gallery. So what I would do here is upload it here, and then just put in my name, my title that I would want. So pretend like I already made all the modifications. If I go and edit the page, I would export it. Not all web parts can be exported, but the content query web part is one that can. So I'll export it. You're going to notice it's going to take the title, speaker bio, and it's just taking the title of the web part that was named. So I'll go ahead and save it. And clear this, wait. Okay. So now that I have it, I'll go back into my web part gallery, go and upload the file. Now pretend I made all the modifications. Come on. Working on it. It's working really hard, isn't it? Okay. Upload document. Now, while we're waiting for it to work on it, you might do another tip is hiding the left navigation. So you might use a content editor web part and just put a style sheet, or add the style in the content editor web part to hide the left navigation. Export the content editor web part, like name it hide left nav or hide navigations, quick launch, right? Export it, upload it to your web part gallery, put the name, whatever you want it. So now your users can go onto their pages that are able to edit the pages, add that web part, and then the left nav is hidden. You didn't have to modify your master page, didn't have to modify your theme or nothing. Doesn't affect the rest of the site. And there you go, you had it added. You can do the same thing with jQuery and other stuff that you want to manipulate on a page. These are nice little quick tips, things that I like to do that make it a lot easier for the user. And this is actually slow, but come on. So, all right, I lost my connection. What the heck? Uh-oh. Really lost my connection there. Hang on. All right, I'm going back to the Wi-Fi. It'll be a little slower, but at least I'll be connected. Okay, so go back, upload. Browse my file, find my web part. So here, like I said, it could be your content editor, it could be your content query web part, it could be your content search web part. I'll click open, I'll add it. When I add it here, so this is speaker bio, okay, that's the name, but what I actually want this to be is custom content query. And then I'll just say SP Evo content query web part. So this way, pretend like what I did was I created my XSL style sheets, I linked them to this web part, I exported it, now I'm importing it, so now you tell your users, just train them, right? I think I accidentally clicked something. And then anytime that they go and they're adding in they want to use the content query web part, they would use the one that you had added in there instead of the default one. Okay? So that's an easy way to do it. But let me go back now. I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to make some changes. Now, I'm going to modify the item style at XSL, but pretend like I'm making my own custom one. Content query main. This is one you would end up modifying if, for example, you wanted to, it's all over here. You might want your content edit query web part to render multiple columns. Well, the default is what, 2? Brett? Can't remember. If you want to display 4 items in the row, you can't do that out of the box. You got to modify the query results. That's the one that I have a more complicated demo that I do have that I'm blogging about, because I'm going to show you exactly how to make the modifications. That one's that could be a whole session in itself because it's a lot of work. But you can just copy my code and you'll have it work and change the number of how many rows you want. But you basically have to do a count. So you change the query result, then you have to make a modification. So it's a lot more advanced. But once you got the code to make it works great. So I'll go back here. I'm going to go and open my item style at XSL. Before I do that, I'm going to make a backup since I'm copying this one. So item style, I'm going to edit in advanced mode. Do I want to check out? Yes. Now, I want to show you this too for those of you that may not be familiar with this in SharePoint Designer. This is the same thing in 2010. If you check out a file and then I go to edit it, I click edit file. Okay, it's automatically in advanced mode. If it's yellow, this happens with the master pages and page layouts. If it's yellow, that means you're in safe mode instead of advanced mode. So if you went and tried to type something in, it wouldn't work. They added this in there because I can't tell you how many times users, including myself, wanted to just go look at one of the master pages or something, and I accidentally hit the keyboard without realizing it and broke my page. Right? So it's good. It's safeguarded. So if this was yellow, you would have this button enabled for advanced mode. Click on it, and it would take you to advanced mode. All right. So I'm going to make this smaller. Here is my item style.xsl. Now, this is definitely more, I guess, advanced customization, but it's part of changing the results. Now, for those of you that may not be able to do XSL, at least it would be nice to know how to, just like the concepts of it, so that way maybe the people within your organization that can do the XSL, you can tell them what you're looking for, and then they can go in and make the changes. So it's good to understand it. It's good to understand the concepts in case someone tries to tell you it can't be done. Right? All right, so what I'll do is I find a template that I want to use as a base, and I'll just do default here. So I'll grab default. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll take a template, copy it, and then I'll take it and paste it all the way down to the bottom of my item style. So here I'm going to paste it down below here. Then I need to make some changes to the name. Template, I don't want this one. I'm going to get a different one. Let's get title and description. Title only. Template name. Doing a search here. Template name. Hold on. Let's do the search for template name. All right. So I'm doing a search for template name so I can actually see all the ones that I got. And I want not title only. What's the name of it? This is what I don't like about the content query web part, is that you can go see your drop-down list of available template options, but they're not going to look the same as when you're looking at your actual templates in your XSL style sheet. Reason being is the way Microsoft coded it. And there's, all right. So let's just find display title here, variable name display title. So I'll just grab this one because I want to display the title. And then I'll add additional options in there. So I got my template. I'll copy this, go down, paste it at the bottom. Okay. Change the name of it. So here I'm going to call this, oh crap, where'd you go? I messed up. Sorry. Guys can go back, find title only. Once again, I want the whole template. I wish there was a way to expand and collapse like you can do in Visual Studio. Okay, so let me grab template. Now I got the whole template. I scroll down here, paste it. Okay. Change the name. I'm going to call this speaker bio. Speaker bio. Okay. So here I'm displaying the title. Then I might go ahead and add here XSL value of select, and then I'm going to put in whatever variable name that I want to have to map. So here I might call it, speaker bio. Okay. I'll click save. Now I click save, and it's going to warn me that I'm trying to change the, how much time do I have, Brett?
About an hour.
Okay, so go ahead, save. Running out of time. Darn it, come on, go back. Does this. So it's warning me that I'm changing the site definition. That was because I'm modifying the out-of-the-box file, right? That's what happens. It's not going to kill anything. It's just not best practice. So I'll go check it in and publish. If I publish, you're going to see a blue icon because it's showing that it's been customized. I'll go back here, go back to my page where I have my content query web part, go back and modify it. I'm going to show you a quick tip. I apologize, we ran out of time, so I couldn't get to the content search web part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record a video like I did last year. I'm going to record a screencast, and then what will happen is, because you guys all get videos from the conference, right? I'm going to record a screencast. You're going to get 2 of them. You're going to get one with my actual demo that has the actual speakers and shows you all that. And then I'm going to give you another one that has the content search web part demo on it. I'll go through a whole session, so you're going to get like 3 sessions in one. It'll be nice. I'll demonstrate that as well, have that on the screencast, so you'll actually have that video as well. Okay? I apologize for being sick. I just have not been on my game today and this week, and so it was very difficult. So things did not go as planned, but I will make sure you have everything that's going to help you guys learn, okay? All right. Throughout the thing? Okay, good. Well, that's good to know. All right, so real quick, I'm just going to my modifications. If I go to query here, you'll see if I go to presentation style, well, that's good to know. So that's good I focused on this one then. Title description, you'll see I see speaker bio. Now it's going to show up as how I change the name. So speaker bio, you'll see now, oh, look at that, speaker bio. Okay, so I can add speaker bio. I'll make one update real quick, then I'm going to just show you how to change it so it doesn't display the div, and then I'll let you guys be on your merry way. All right, look at that. That's crap. Hold on, let me pass in Brett Lonsdale again.
Use Frank in my demos.
Say that again? Oh,
So I wish I could be as frank when I'm presenting to a client.
apparently I'm more frank when I'm sick too. All right, so you see we've got Brett Lonsdale, it's linking. We want to remove that link because I just want it to display the speaker, and I want it to not display the div. So there's a couple changes I have to make. I'll go back here real quick, go back and check out my item style, go back and edit it. Come on. Edit. All right, just open then. All right, so I'm going to go back here, go down the bottom. So what I want is I'm removing the hyperlink out because I don't want anybody to link. Where's the other part of the A? All right, so I don't want anybody to be able to link because I just want it to display the, I want it to display, Laura, I'll write a blog post or include the more details on it for you. Okay, so you'll be able to do it. But you can just format this the way you want, right? So then I've got speaker title. I might want to put a break here, and I can put a break, or do I have to do XSL text? I can do a break? Okay. So I got a break here because I want them to be split. But then the speaker bio is displaying the div. So if I wanted to render the actual HTML results, I'm going to add a property here. Disable output escaping and say yes. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. So what I did was I removed the hyperlink. I could clean this up a lot more, but I don't have time. So I removed the hyperlink. I added a break. So it's going to be the speaker name, then the speaker bio, and then I added disable output escaping. I'm going to go back and check in my style sheet, publish it. Okay, drum roll, please. Oh, wait, we have the caching too, don't we? Booyah!
And now we all get the book.
Yes! I think that's the max the publisher's going to send me too. All right, so that was a simple, I hope this was helpful. Like I said, I'm going to give you guys some more. I'm glad to hear content search was actually heavily displayed throughout the conference, so that's good. This was the very simple way of modifying the content query, showing you how to work with the content query web part. Like I said, I'll record some videos for you guys that will get included on the discs of giving you more. I'll show you the one demo that I have, and then I'll give you another more advanced demo. So I'll give you like a couple, and that will be very helpful. So I hope this was helpful. I'm glad that this worked, right? I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the conference, and thanks for being patient with me. I really appreciate it.